Good day, gamers. Welcome once again to another, not Game Master Dave Plays, but an after action review. An AAR about FATDOG 2025. That's right. We had a great time at FATDOG this past weekend, so we're going to chat about it a little bit here. Oh man, I forgot. There we go. I almost put the wrong. I almost chose the wrong spot. Doesn't matter. Let's move on. Hey, all right. So FATDOG 2025. I haven't streamed in quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to reviewing some of the photos that we had, and I wanted to share with you some of the great experiences that we had yesterday. FATDOG stands for Friday After Thanksgiving Day of Gaming. I'm out here on Long Island, New York. I'm the showrunner, but I couldn't have done it without all of the volunteers and sponsors and vendors and everybody that was there, and of course the game masters and all of the attendees. So FATDOG 2025 is the first time that we rented out the Seaford American Legion Hall, and that was great. I am on the executive board. I'm the adjutant of the Seaford American Legion, and if you live on Long Island and don't belong to a VFW or American Legion or the AMVETS, I do suggest that you try to join an organization. They do a lot of great stuff. Just today, I went with some volunteers to remove flags. We put out flags at the Seaford Railroad Station and American flags for Veterans Month, for Veterans Day and Veterans Month. And today we got a bunch of volunteers, including some Boy Scouts and stuff, and Seaford High School kids to remove the flags. And this is some of the stuff that your American Legions and other organizations do around your town. And they put on 9/11 memorials and Veterans Day and Memorial Day ceremonies, and also donate and help veterans and do a whole bunch of stuff. So at the Seaford American Legion is the first time that we've rented the hall, and we had a tough time after the pandemic of getting together for FATDOG. But now we are back and in full swing. We had about 70 people there yesterday, and I will tell you, I had at least 30 of them already tell me they had a fantastic time. So we are super excited. Chat is open. Give us a like, subscribe, comment, suggestion, anything. If you attended FATDOG, I would love to hear your story. You can even type it, and I can mention it in the stream if you'd like me to. And FATDOG, what is FATDOG? So it's Friday After Thanksgiving Day of Gaming. I already said that. It traditionally started 30 plus years ago at the founder's basement, and they were very much into war games. So it started out as a wargaming convention, and as time went on, the founder decided to hand over the reins to FATDOG to myself and a friend. And we have continued the tradition of FATDOG here starting in 2024. Like I said, was our first time at renting a hall. Last year and the year before, we held FATDOG at game stores. So that was a unique experience, and it was great. And then one of the game stores closed, which was unfortunate. So the other game store we partnered with to run FATDOG this year, and that was Cosmic Comics and Games in Baldwin, New York, here on Long Island. And Chuck, the owner of the store, and I communicated a whole bunch about what was going on, and we had we planned and organized and rented the hall, and it worked out fantastic. So we're super excited about the event. And a ton of games were played, but first I'd like to talk about some of the other people we had at FATDOG, which were outstanding. I couldn't have done it without the volunteers. People just helped out in random, and of course all the game masters that posted events. But in addition to that, I had two students through an organization, youth exchange students. And one was from France, Arthur, and the other one, Demir, was from Turkey. And they did a fantastic job. And their sponsor is Todd, and all three of them helped set up and clean up and helped work the administration table, handing out badges and stuff, and it just worked out really smooth. So great thanks to them. I really appreciate it. Now, in addition to that, Todd and the two students, and also Cosmic Comics helping out. Um, we also had Crokinole, the Brooklyn Crokinole Club, as well as the Long Island Crokinole Club, helping us out and demoing Crokinole. They set up 3 boards, and they were almost occupied all day with people just checking out Crokinole or experienced players playing Crokinole, and lots of conversations were had, and you can see the Crokinole board right there. So there is some people playing Crokinole on the back left is Mark. He's one of the owners. Here's Ginger. Hello, Ginger.
Hi, everybody.
And of course, I couldn't have done it without my wife, Ginger. I haven't gotten to her yet. She's on my list. She is fantastic. A ball of energy. She joined a bunch of games, had a great time, helped me out, supported us as well, supported me and the organization in getting Fat Dog to happen. And she is also one of the sponsors of Fat Dog with her company, Joyful Day Ceremonies. So, Joyful Day Ceremonies is her organization. She is a wedding officiant. So, and she also says that with Joyful Day Ceremonies, her and myself run board gaming events all over Long Island, to include Fat Dog. But we also go to local libraries and do and other mini conventions like Fan Fest. A lot of libraries do like a once a year Fan Fest or something. So we help out with bringing board games to that or to those events. So Ginger helped out with that. So the bottom line is, if you're thinking about, if you know somebody getting married and looking for a wedding officiant here on Long Island or the surrounding area, or you're thinking about it, drop us a line, Dave at GameMasterGames.com, or I think Virginia at JoyfulDayCeremonies.com. And so we also had LIBO, Long Island Board Gaming Organization. They were there selling games and running games. That was great to have them. We also had another vendor, Dan. He sold some games too. He was a long-time Fat Dog vendor through the years. Oh, by the way, Fat Dog moved from the basement to a hotel for many, many years. And so Dan has been a vendor there at the hotel. We also had a guest come in, Steve from SRG Universe. Now, you may not know Steve and you may not know SRG Universe, but I bet you know the game Super Show. They've been at Gen Con and other big conventions, and they sell and demo games throughout Long Island and throughout the country, I think. I believe that they've gone throughout the country to run events and demo their games. But Steve also came to teach Gummy Yummies, I think? I think I got it right. What is it? Rummy Gummies, and also Scally Wager. And he very generously ran several events, and the winners of those events got a free copy of the game. So that was super cool. Thank you, Steve. That was great. And then we also partnered with Board Games for the. I'm sorry. We also partnered with Board Games for the Better, and Board Games for the Better helped out with. They asked for donations of sealed children's puzzles for the New York City Children's Center. So we had somebody walk in. We had several people walk in and donate games, but we had somebody walk in and donate a whole bunch of puzzles too for the kids. That was fantastic. So that was Chris. Thank you, Chris, for donating those games, and also several other people donated those puzzles, and several other people donated games and stuff like that too. And then we had one of our other sponsors was Long Island Tabletop. And Long Island Tabletop is an amazing organization. They put on a big show in April at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. Don't miss out this year. If you're on Long Island and you're a board gamer, role-playing gamer, miniature gamer, or trading card game player, you got to check out Long Island Tabletop, April 5 and 6. Go to litabletop.com, and you can go there and see. And you can actually, I'm the board game coordinator. If you're planning on playing board games, you're probably going to run into me. So hopefully we'll see you there. That's April 5 and 6, 2025. Then also part of Fat Dog, a tradition at Fat Dog is raffles. So we raffled off some war games, we raffled off some other games, and I never know if it's going to go well or not with the raffles, but we sold a lot of tickets and people had a great time. And two people took home like we had about 15 or 20 games out for the raffles, and two people took home about 5 games each. It was unbelievable. So obviously they bought a lot of tickets, or randomly they lucked out. That was great. We also had a silent auction, and the silent auction went pretty well too. Somebody took home 2 puzzles they were looking for that auction, and a few other games as well were won at the silent auction. People were super happy, including a Catan game was heavily contested. There was a bunch of bids for Catan, um, and there were and the 5 and 6 player expansion too. So that was interesting. I had a great time running Hegemony. The 4 guys playing Hegemony had a blast, and the smack talking at that game was just unbelievable. It was so much fun. And then the other thing that was interesting for me at the Seaford American Legion, I don't know if it was by chance or whether they did it on purpose, but like 7 of my Legion brothers and sisters stopped by the Legion Hall, and they were like, "What is going on? Oh, you this is when you rented the hall? Oh, okay." I mean, they were all there for other reasons, but it was just really curious to see them come and then they saw what I do, and I actually encourage them all to play some crokinole. You know, it takes a minute to learn crokinole and a couple minutes to play around, and eventually after hours one of the Legionnaires was there after hours, and he brought his grandkids. Eventually, Ginger and I talked them into sitting down with their grandkids and playing crokinole. So that's fantastic. So thank you to the Legion Hall, Seaford American Legion Hall for uh, for hosting us. That was great. So out of some of the games that were played, we had a ton of games. Memoir 44 for our war game was played. Ticket to Ride, Europe, River City Glassworks, Ark Nova Marine Expansion, Arcs, Australia. That was a unique game. SRG Universe was there, like I said. Um, then we had Cat in the Box sequence. Oh, we had a couple kids come actually. Some parents brought their kids, and some like 7, 8, 9 year olds. So they were running around playing games too. That was fantastic. Sequence, Survive, Triumph, Crokinole, of course, Earth. I don't have all the games. I tried to record as much as I could. Clank Catacombs, Clank in Space was played. We had 4 people playing Magic: The Gathering Commander all day long. They just came and sat at a table and just played Commander the entire day. That was great. And what was even better, what was even more interesting about that is about halfway through the day they took a break and they played Catan. So that was great. Scally Wager from SRG Universe, Red Dragon Inn, Betrayal House on the Hill is always played at like every convention we go to. So somebody picked up off the board gaming library. They picked up Betrayal House on the Hill, and of course played that. Arcs, 2 sessions of Arcs was played, and they were packed full. Dimension, Age of Steam, Rust Belt. The game master's like, I don't know if anybody's going to want to play Age of Steam Rust Belt, but he got 2 players, and they had a great game. Then we had Blood on the Clock Tower. So we booked at a 2 o'clock uh, thing of Blood on the Clock Tower. One of the things that is always tough to know is whether or not your games fill out or not. And Blood on the Clock Tower is so popular, but people really, a lot of heavy games were played, as I just listed some of them. And Blood on the Clock Tower was tough. It's not like we had 700 people there. We had 70. If you've got 1,000 people at a convention, Blood on the Clock Tower is always going to fill up. We know that. But with 70 people, are people going to jump up in the middle of a game or when a game ends and go play Blood on the Clock Tower? Well, apparently yes. So 11 people played the first game, and then it was so popular and people requested a second game that they booked the second game. I made a couple announcements, and I think it looked like 12 or 13 or 14 people played the second game. So Blood on the Clock Tower was a huge hit. Coracle was played. Eclipse, Monkey Business. I'm sorry, Ginger said something from the other room. Yep. Yep, I haven't gotten to that, my love. I got Trekking Through History, Everdell, Baseball Highlights, Rummy Gummies from SRG Universe, and then Everyone is John was a unique role-playing game played. 2 sessions of it happened. It worked. Um, Lee was the game master, and it was great. Everybody said they had a wonderful time. Everyone is John is a very unique role-playing game. It is everybody, all the characters play a different personality of John, and apparently they like bid to do something. They have some sort of bidding mechanic to do an action, and very unique. So that was cool. Then Everdell was played. I taught Everdell a little bit, although one of the players taught most of it. A game called QE was played. I've never heard of this, never seen it. Somebody told me it's a bidding game, and I'm not even going to try to explain it. I'm not even. And then Rock Hard was there. Oh my gosh, Rock Hard! I really wanted to play Rock Hard. I really wanted to own Rock Hard. I'm an envoy with the Double Exposure program, www.dexposure.com, and envoys are great. They're nationwide. They go to locations and teach games, and they get a free copy of the game, but they have to go teach it for like 5 hours at a library or store or something like that. So I signed up for the Rock Hard board game. Apparently, it was super popular at Gen Cons. They sold out. I didn't get a chance. It was so popular in the Envoy program that I signed up, and I didn't get a chance to demo it. Otherwise, I would have a copy of it. It looks so unique. I got some pictures of it coming up. I got us a little slideshow we're going to go through in just a second. Telestrations was played. That's an interesting game. Smash Up. Um, then Gemini I mentioned. Then Wingspan was a pickup game. That was cool. And then Super Show from SRG Universe was played. Catan I mentioned already. Space Hulk. I saw Space Hulk with a fully painted set. That was really cool. And then one of the last games that was played of the day was Eat the Reich. That's a unique RPG as well. Our friend Chris ran Eat the Reich, and it is basically super horror, super graphic, adult RPG. And what was really crazy about it was, we had some kids there, we had some teenagers at the event, and so we were really nervous about having such an adult themed thing nearby. Chris had asked me in advance of the event if there was a private room that he could use, and there really isn't at the American Legion Hall. So, but there's a storage room that's rather big. So, Chris asked if we could use the storage room. Now, there was a Legionnaire there, and I'm like, I don't know. For safety reasons and concerns, I was a little nervous. So I asked the other Legionnaire, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Just use the storage room. So we set Chris up in the storage room with Eat the Reich, and it was like he had like 6 players in there, and it looked like they had a great time. So that's the general rundown. So many other games were played too. I know that I missed, but what I will do now is I'll run you through some of the pictures that we took, and you can see some stuff going on. So this is ARCs. This is a table that was set up. The players aren't there because this was in between the first and the second game. They went out for lunch, but I figured I would just take a picture of the game there. And then we have the next one is sort of the room here happening. In the bottom left, you see Arc Nova with the Marine expansion happening, and then you've got Steve with the SRG Universe. He's the Ring Crew T-shirt over here in the black, and you can see some of the setup. He's teaching Scally Wager right now, so that's fun. Now, I took a picture of this Upfront game. Why did I do this? Well, this Upfront game was being sold by Libo. It's an out-of-print game. If you were to ask me what's my favorite game of all time, it would be Squad Leader and Advanced Squad Leader. And this, as you can see there in the picture, it says the Squad Leader card game. So after sometime in the 80s, late 80s, Upfront came out. I still have my copy of Upfront. It is heavily worn and heavily played, heavily loved. And one of my friends actually is trying to digitize it, and we're gonna try to play online. He actually asked me if I have time this weekend to play test that a little bit and just see if we're able to do it. You know, we're not gonna sell it or anything. We just want to play up front, and we want to memorialize it. You know, so anyway, this Upfront game was there, and I was like, oh, I could always use another copy of Upfront, but I know that it's really expensive online. And here it is. Livo is selling it for 150 bucks. And I was like, nope, not buying it for $150. If you're interested in Upfront and willing to pay $150, email me at dave@gamemastergames.com. I'm sure we can work out some sort of deal. What a great game. So maybe I'll cover that in the future. Sales of Glory was a great hit. It had full players. Um, so FatDog, like I mentioned, has moved from wargaming to all genres, and Sales of Glory was one of the quote unquote war games played there. So we had a lot of fun. Apparently, the French won, and it was a good time. This is Eclipse getting still either in the middle of playing or still getting set up. I'm not too sure, but the players there seemed like had a good time. Then we had Dimension was set up to play, and that got played by some of the kids and adults. So that was cool. Here's Rummy Gummies. This is sort of the SRG Universe table that's set up to play some Rummy Gummies. That's a little family card game. And again, let's see. I'm wondering if it might. I don't know the website. Search for SRG Universe online. They're selling this, and I think they had some Black Friday sales too. Rummy Gummies and Scally Wager, as well as Super Show. You can see the poster in the background is from Super Show. It's up against the wall there. Red Dragon Inn was played. That's a common game at many conventions too. We run a tournament of it. Pardon me, at Long Island Tabletop. That's going to be April 5 and 6, 2024. litabletop.com. If you really like Red Dragon Inn, last year we had 32 players playing Red Dragon Inn. That was insane. Good time, so check that out. There's Betrayal at House on the Hill getting played, as I mentioned earlier. There's a close-up of the Sails of Glory ships going at it, beating each other up. So that was fun. Memoir 44, I don't have a picture of it, but that was one of the other war games that was played. There was a few other smaller war games played too. I think Spartacus happened. I didn't mention that earlier, but I did mention Memoir 44. There is one of the things from the old FATDOG. So Oorah, he's got a Marine Corps mug. So I took a picture of that. There's that Catan game to the left at the silent auction that had a lot of bids. People trying to buy that one. My wife was incredible. She looked up SRG Universe. It is srguniverse.com. So check that out. They got a lot of great games. Super Show is a wrestling card game. There is no game out there like it at all. What's even cooler about it is Steve, he's got some contacts in the wrestling world. And so he has made wrestlers, added stats to actual wrestlers, and made the wrestling cards. And then our good friend Derek from, oh my gosh, he makes balloons. I can't believe what's the name of his organization? Ginger, do you remember? He does balloon sculpting. And there's actually a SRG. There's a Super Show card for him. It was a limited edition. So funny. Really good time. There's some of our auctions. That's the cups we use for the not the auction, the raffle tickets. Like people buying raffle tickets. Some of the war games you see there. The T-shirts went in the center, and then Geek Out was popular, as well as Cthulhu Realms. On the left there, you can see. So we had a good time with that. There's some of the games from Libo that were for sale, and then in the background was some of our board game collection. This is a picture of that Rock Hard game, and I got a couple more because I took a few photos of it. I really wanted to show it. This is, oh darn it, it is. Let me see if I can rotate this. Did that happen? Did the rotation happen on the screen? So this is the money. They wanted to show me the money in the game. They were like, the money is so unique. Look at it. It looks like $1, of course. People have written on it. Somebody kissed it. Call me, 555-7562, whatever. Really ingenious stuff. And it also felt like real money, too. So, super cool. Everdell was played. Everdell was ever popular at recent conventions, as you probably all know. Dark Tower. I did not mention that earlier. Dark Tower was run by our friend Todd. And there is our friend Brian playing some Dark Tower. And the other thing that's interesting about Brian is that this guy, and I think it's his brother or one of his friends, made a carrying case for our giant corridor board and donated it to us. Must have taken them 30, 40 hours to help make. These guys are just so incredible. Brian has recently become my 0.5 minion, not number 1 minion, but number 0.5, even higher than number 1, because he helps me out a lot and attends a lot of our events. Thanks, Brian. I know you had a good time at Dark Tower. There is Steve from Rummy Gummies. He's holding up some of his product and having a good time checking it out. srguniverse.com. Thank you, Ginger, for the website. There is Hegemony in full swing. Looks like they're on round 3 of Hegemony. There's some unemployed workers down here. A lot of companies for middle class are open. Please, if you got questions about Hegemony, send me a note, dave@gamemastergames.com. What a good time. We had a blast with Hegemony. And that is it. So thank you for watching the video. Give us a like, follow, subscribe, comment, suggestion. Follow us around. I hope you like this Fat Dog After Action Report from 2024. If you like some of those games, we'd love to hear about it. If you've never played some of the games and are looking forward to it and live in the Long Island area, let us know. You can always check out the schedule on GameMasterGames.com. You can sign up for our email list on the website as well, or you can, again, just email me at dave@GameMasterGames.com, and I will add you to our email list for events. You can also find us on Facebook, Threads, maybe under GMG Dave. I'm common under that, or Game Master Dave. You can find all the links for that on our website, GameMasterGames.com. So follow us on Threads. I just joined Blue Sky. I don't have my name. I don't have a link on my website, I think, for that yet. I literally did that like on Wednesday. So, and this is Saturday after Fat Dog. Pardon me. So, with that said, thank you so much. Make sure that you play some games as soon as you can with some friends. I also play games on Board Game Arena and VassalEngine.org, and we're super excited. Me and my wife are super excited to bring gaming experience to everybody on Long Island. I had such great positive feedback from Fat Dog. We are super happy about it. I didn't know if 30, 50, or 70 people were going to show up. I didn't think I was going to get more than 70, and we got about 70. So we can't be happier. Cosmic Comics was great. Thank you. Cosmic Comics and Games from Baldwin was fantastic. You can find them on Facebook. And thanks, everybody, all my volunteers. Thank you to my wife for supporting us. And I hope everybody has a great time. So, yep, I mentioned Long Island Tabletop as well. Ginger was reminding me, make sure I get some of my sponsors in. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, until we meet again across the internet, keep your dice dry. Keep your dice dry, your rule books ready, and your, what are we keeping strong, Ginger? And your fat dogs strong. Keep your fat dogs strong. All right, everybody, have a good day. Thank you so much.